Hi guys, Epicenter Brian here. Hey, this is sort of a show and tell video. I want to show you guys one of my many projects, and I want to teach you guys how to clean old school mechanical switches like used in this unit. This is an Ampex MM1000 from 1969. I bought this a couple of months ago, and there were really two big problems with it. One, it didn't work at all. And two, it was on the second floor of a warehouse with no elevator, only stairs, and the stairs were on the outside. So we had to pick a day with decent weather to be able to get it down the stairs. And so anyway, this weighs 650 pounds. So to lighten the load up a little bit, I took all the electronics out and transported that separately, and then we brought the carcass down the stairs. What was left still weighed 350 pounds. So the guy I bought it from had already made some ramps. We used those, and I brought a chain hoist, and the chain hoist was 10 feet long, so we had to stop every 10 feet, secure the machine, and then move the chain hoist. It took us 4 hours to get it down and get it loaded. Now, it took about 80 hours to trace down all the problems and get the machine to this point. Some of the final issues related to select switches on the front panel. And so I decided to go ahead and videotape the cleaning method I used to clean those contacts on the switches. And this method actually came from a guy named Corey on one of the recording forums, and it worked out really well. I tweaked it a little bit. And so I want to go ahead and share that with you guys because somebody out there is going to need to do something like this. So anyway, let's go ahead and roll that footage. Okay, I've got the switch assembly out. These are all 16 of those record, enable, and cell sync switches. And the connectors over here. Now I've got a meter hooked up, and this is an ohm meter. And it's measuring one set of these contacts, and that should be way less than 1 ohm. But it fluctuates quite a bit. So this is the switch that we're going to be working on right here, and this is in the on position right now. And so I'm going to get set up here, and I'll show you how to clean this. Now, what I'm using today is this product. It's called DeOxit D5. This stuff is just really amazing. So the other thing I'm going to be using today is just some paper. And this is just standard copy paper. Alright, so let me get set up and I'll show you how to do this. So the first thing you do is go ahead and deactivate the switch. That opens the contacts down here, and then put your paper in there and then activate the switch, and you can see that this is hanging out there. It's actually pinned between those two contacts. So now we're going to spray some DeOxit on here. You don't need much. And any excess, just go ahead and wipe it off. And then what you do is you just wiggle this back and forth. Okay, now the paper itself is acting as a wick and a vessel to transport that cleaning solution right to where it needs to be. It's also acting as a super fine sandpaper. So anyway, you wiggle this around a bit and then open that up, and you can see some debris on here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's debris on there, and it can get really ugly as well. This is a piece that has a lot of debris on it. Okay, so anyway, put this back in again, activate it again, hit it again with some more DeOxit, wipe up your excess, and just keep doing this until the white paper is pretty free of debris, okay? And it'll be pretty obvious. Alright, and then once you've done that, then turn it over, put some fresh paper in here again, and this is just going to be used to actually soak up that excess fluid. Can you see how that fluid is soaking right into the paper? Okay, and once you've got that excess fluid out of there, then you're going to go ahead and activate the switch again and just use the clean paper again to burnish those contacts. Okay, and you can see we still have we still have quite a bit of this fluid in here. So I'm going to turn off the camera for a minute and I'll deal with that, and we'll come back shortly. Okay, we've got one more contact to do on this side. And so same procedure, just hit it lightly with the DeOxit and close the switch and then start going. And you can see already there's quite a bit of debris coming off of these contacts. And you can change your pattern, you know, whatever's going to work. In this situation, it's a little difficult to clean these two contacts. The other side of the switch, I'll show you that when I'm all done, has two contacts that you can just put a piece of paper between both of them and do them at the same time, and you can do it straight across. But this one because there's the way the switch is made, you can't really do that. Okay, well, that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this switch off. We'll pull that paper out. Now you can see that the meter is reading an open circuit. And right now I'm going to throw the switch, and voila! 0.06 ohms. Okay, well, that switch has been fixed, and got one more to do, and then I can put this all back together. That's what it looks like with the switches all back in position. And over here are the other contacts that I mentioned. Obviously you can't see those very well with all the wiring installed, but there's one down here, and you can see that you can put a piece of paper in there and clean two of these contacts at the same time, which is pretty handy. And this is what the little monstrosity looks like from the front. So that's the main control panel up here in the front, and this is the switch that we were working on in the video right here. Alright, the bulbs came, so I've got those installed, but I wanted to show you something very clever. You'll see that there's one light bulb on each one of these switches, okay? And you can see that from the back. Now in the front, that's what it looks like. And the crazy thing about this is when you flip these switches down, they go green, and when you switch them up, they're red, and when they're in the center, they're orange. So they do that in a very clever way. You'll notice that all of those lights are just white. Okay, so what they've got is down inside of here, and it may be kind of hard to see this, but there's a piece of plastic that is colored, and it goes in between the switch knob and the light source. So when it's in that position, on the back side there's a green lens, right in the center there's an orange one, and on this side it's red. So that's how they do this. Isn't that clever for 1969? Certainly before LEDs and all that kind of stuff. I just thought that was so cool that I wanted to show it to you guys.